hang on, a McLaren sandbagging here. And then Q2, we were right there again. And then, the unfortunate accident for Lando in Q3, there were only 4 cars with 2 new sets, which was the 2 McLarens, George and Max. And thankfully, Lando was okay, but it left it right on the cusp. Do you do 2 times, of which there was 25 seconds margin, or do you just hang in there and just do 1? And we elected to do the 2 times, which puts you under pressure, because if there's any issue at all, you've lost that margin. And what was super impressive for me, so because you take the pit stop, you've got to carry the fuel. So he had, I don't know, 6 or 7 kilos more fuel on that first lap, which he went quickest, put the pressure then on the other guys. And then again, his last lap was outstanding. And to get that pole, our second in the last 3 races, is really rewarding, and a phenomenal performance by Max and the team, and obviously good to have Yuki up there in Q3 as well.
Yeah, absolutely incredible stuff.
It was an incredibly well executed Q3 especially, but obviously the car seemed to come up live at night.
Yeah.
But where you were in FP3 to then make that transition in qualifying, did you change a lot to the car between the 2 sessions, or was it just the conditions and everything working in the evening?
Well, of course, the engineers are continually looking to optimize the car, and yeah, I think the setup changes that we made definitely helped, and it gave him a car that he felt he could really attack with. But when you look at the margin, I think we all came out of P3 almost slightly depressed, thinking, Christ, it's a battle to be on the second row here. But that margin just disappeared, and that can only be one of 2 things, either temperature or fuel loads. So yeah, fantastic for Max and the team to get our second pole of the year.
Again, I echo that. A fantastic pole from Max. He always looks at these driver tracks like he's going to make the difference between, what a car that maybe should be on pole and a car that is finally on pole. And just talk us through the process in the garage, because when you work out that you can do 2 runs,
yeah,
it's not always an easy decision that you can. And like we sort of discussed, you always leave that to the driver. So was Max a clear, I want 2 goes at it, even though it's difficult, or how did that pan out?
I think it ends up with it being a consultation. So the strategist gives you the options to say, look, you've got 25 seconds if you do a pit stop. So